So let's discuss this Elliott Wilson situation, right? Let's discuss this Elliott Wilson situation. Real crazy with Elliott Wilson and how he gets down. If y'all know Elliott Wilson, veteran in the game, right? Elliott Wilson, Source Magazine, you know what I'm saying? Rap Radar, Apple TV. He's veteran, like veteran hip hop journalist. He got into what I ain't gonna say. Yeah, he got into it. He got on a podcast and was talking a little greasy about Camron. Camron is a rapper who is now a media personality or a podcaster. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if y'all been following this, it's a lot to unpack when it comes to the homie Elliott. Elliott is wild, man. Elliott is really wild. So let's unpack. Let's get to it, man. Let's set the stage. Elliott Wilson, like I said, legendary in hip hop journalism. He recently criticized Camron's sports talk show, It Is What It Is, which he co-hosts with Mace and Stat Baby. Now, he sat down on the New Roy and Mal podcast and expressed his concerns about artists venturing into journalism without formal training, and even described the show's content as cringeworthy. Cringeworthy? That is crazy. Let's get into what he said. Let's get into what he said real quick. Come on, let's get into what he said.
Camron's running like he's Stephen A. Smith. That's what people be mad at you about when you say shit like that.
Which I think he should lean into. Be the old villain.
OD, that was hate.
Why is this for a journalist? Because he has an opinion? Why? This is the shit I do well, and not everybody want to do it. I don't like that shit. And not be a hater.
You don't like it because you don't think they're good at it?
I know I'm better at it. Okay. It's me. It's my life.
Who are you to say I'm better at this than them?
They're not better. Like, that shit cringeworthy. I watch that shit. It's not good.
Yo,
shit ain't popping.
It
ain't popping.
I don't agree.
What's the camera interview? He was like, yo, Camron really asked the question. What are you talking about? No.
Mo and I aren't journalists. We're still in hip-hop media. You are a hip-hop journalist. What interview did Cam take away from us?
Celebrity has access to different things that I may not have. And again, I feel like they underperform.
We made podcasting popping. Then Rap Radar podcast came, and you took God knows how many interviews from us.
Camron's running like he's Stephen A. Smith. That's what people be mad at you about.
So that was Elliott Wilson addressing his concerns about, I want to call it, new media. That's what I'm going to call it. His concerns about new media. And I think that's nasty work for him to be who he is. That's nasty work, man. That's nasty work to sit up there and spew what he spewed. He sounded like he was hating, right? He sounded like he was hating on Camron for doing the good job that Camron does. You know, coming from, because Elliott Wilson comes from print. He comes from, I'm a journalist, you got to come see me. Camron is a celebrity, so it's a little bit easier to get the access, right? And Camron, they didn't take it slightly. They ain't back down. You know what I'm saying? If you go on the official account for It Is What It Is, they fire back. They call in Elliott Wilson washed, a bona fide hater. Even Stat Baby Treasure was like, she emphasized on the dedication to the research and you know what I'm saying, the credibility in sports and entertainment and their acumen that they put up. Like, they actually do the work. You know what I'm saying? So it does sound like hate. It really does sound like hate, man. It's two sides to this, right? To this debate. You got traditional journalism versus the rise of independent media platforms, or what I like to call media, new media. And what is really at stake here? You know what I'm saying? What is really at stake? Why does this beef even exist? You know what I mean? Why can't traditional media and new media or whatever you want to call it coexist and come together and do things? But let's take a real deep dive into Elliott Wilson's critique, because he does raise interesting points about the need for professionalism in journalism. Because I say that a lot. We see a lot of new media journalists who don't put the work in, who don't go out and do the research, who don't really know what they're talking about. They just regurgitating old or regurgitating facts that they heard on social media, right? So we know that traditional journalists, they spent numerous years honing the craft. You know what I'm saying? They talk about the training and how what it means to be credible and to be well researched. Excuse me, seem like I got a burp or something. But the counterpoint is, does Camron's lack of formal training really matter if he's connecting? If he's really driving a point home with the audiences that show up when traditional journalists can't show up in that same way? Does it really matter if I need to be a traditional journalist if I'm touching, right, all my audience? If I'm touching my audience, does it really matter? So if you've ever watched It Is What It Is, you know that Camron and Mace, they got the chemistry because they grew up together. They're friends from when they were young. They know sports. They know what they talk about, and they do use their cachet of being Mace, one of, what I'm saying, real big back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Both of them, matter of fact, what I'm saying, being big in the late 90s, early 2000 rappers. They use that celebrity to go and get these interviews. They had O.J. Simpson on the show. Is Elliott mad because he couldn't sit down with O.J.? Maybe Elliott did sit down with O.J., but I know Cam and Mace had O.J. on the show to talk sports. You know what I mean? Cam and Mace had Mike Tyson on the show. Snoop Dogg. Murder Mace, not Pastor Mace. Murder Mace. This is Murder Mace right here, man. So is he hating? Like, it's just crazy when I think about it, when you're trying to look at both points, because I think both sides have a point, right? Both sides got a point, but whose point supersedes the other? Because his show isn't just about sports. He mixes in entertainment, humor, and just being just him. He started off the show rap, showing off that I still got it, rapping and stuff like that. And maybe that's what today's audiences need. They need to see that authentic, not the, oh, I went to school, let me, real square journalism. And no disrespect when I say that, but rigid. They don't want to see rigid. The audience want to see you relax, laid back, kicking it, enjoying yourself, right? At least that's what I think the audience would want. So, like, what do y'all think, man? Do y'all think journalism needs to evolve to include voices like Camron, myself, some of these people who watching the show? Or does that risk diluting the integrity of the profession? Can both people play in the same sandbox, professional and unprofessional? Or can the unprofessional become the new professional? Right? Can that happen? But there was some clapbacks happening, right? We know that social media is that new battleground, man. Social media is that new battleground. But before I get into the clapback, let's look at some tradition. You know, what's traditional versus digital. This one says digital. It should have been traditional versus new media. We got traditional media outlets. They have the authority, credibility, and recognition, right? They reach a broad demographic, especially the older generation, and they generate brand awareness through strategic ad placement. That's the traditional journalism. Then you have the new, what I like to call new journalism, new journalists. Facilitate word of mouth spreading of information and opinions online at the speed of trust. These new people trust Camron. They trust Mace. They connect with enthusiastic fans who are passionate about the brand and building the brand. They want a brand built with Mace and Cam. You get instant feedback, right? You can, as with the new media, you can test new ideas on your audience to see what works and what doesn't work without the backlash of losing an ad or losing whatever. And you can sustain a longer campaign. You can be out here longer because you are cultivating consumer-driven conversations or audience-driven conversations. And these conversations are perceived as more authentic and current. More authentic and current. Now, like I said, after everything that happened, you know Cam had to come with the clapback. You know he had to say what he had to say, right? He had to. You can't get out of here without Cam saying what he said. So we're going to go here. Can I share this? Yep. That is not what I want, though. Y'all bear with me for a second. Here we go. This is what Cam and them said.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, Matt Barnes, Dan Lebatard, Nick one, first thing.
Oh, let's read the caption first. Let's read the caption first. Can we do that? Let me blow that up. You see what it says? Here's what it is. It says, hey, Elliott Wilson, just in case you ain't get the memo, clown, here you go. We the new Source magazine, and you can't do shit about it. We the culture, and you a sucker. Simple. Get the fuck out of here. Camden ain't playing.
Things first, especially Stephen A. Smith, Gillian Wallow, and Gilbert Arenas. I named them three last because they gave me a murder some game about this business before we got into the business. The rest of you bitch ass niggas, I'm telling you right now, we here. We here. Y'all can make your motherfucking phone calls. You can think what I'm saying ain't true. I'm telling you now,
We the new source.
We the new source. Murder, stat, and killer are the new source. Y'all niggas scared and y'all moving funny. Ready. We camera ready. First of all, Murder made the slogan. We do it like we do it for TV.
Yeah.
All y'all analysts and niggas that's pissed off, we gonna make you real mad now because niggas gonna start hitting me with the information. I'm gonna make sure I call my friends up. And shout out to Draymond Green too, because I called Draymond early.
It's Summer League. We're gonna be there every game.
Yeah. Football season, we back 4 days a week, and you know what time it is when it comes to basketball. We on your ass, pause, and if you mad, you gonna get madder. Fuck you, bitch ass niggas. Next episode of It Is What It Is.
That's funny to me, man. Watching Cam go off like that is funny to me. I don't know if it's funny to y'all, but that's funny to me, man. But no. Is this good for that, John? You know what I'm saying? because the way I'm looking at it now, with Elliott Wilson and what he said on Rory and Maul's podcast, is he doing that to drum up clicks? Is he doing that for engagement? Because he knows that he's because he says it all the time. I'm trying to compete. I'm still here. I'm still in the game. I'm trying to compete. He got to keep up with these guys, right? He got to keep up with these guys. You know, social media is the new battleground for debates. And we saw is what it is. They didn't hold back. They ready to go. You step into the carpet. Come on. Step to the carpet. They went straight at Elliott. Elliott, what up? Calling him out publicly. You know what I'm saying? Reposted. Even Elliott had to say, all right, y'all got me. Okay, y'all won. That's what Elliott posted. Because he know, hey, look, he don't want smoke with them, man. He don't want to. He ain't ready. I don't think he's ready for that because being like and you saw the infographic that I put up, you know, with traditional media, you're locked into a contract with a certain company, corporation, or whatever. Cam ain't locked into nothing. That's Cam stuff. Him and Mace, they own that. They can get on there and talk greasy all day long and ain't got to worry about nothing. You know? So, you know, but the question is it productive? These social media battles, does it prove anything? You know what I'm saying? We know that they generate buzz, they draw attention to the platforms involved, but is that productive? And then you got on the other hand that they can sometimes feel unprofessional. You know, you get some of these, and I ain't talking about Camden, but you get some of these that just feel unprofessional, no production value. And they get online talking greasy, reckless and shit. You know? So y'all let me know where do we draw that line? Where do we draw that line? And we see that this feud, what it highlights the bigger picture in today's media landscape, right? The clash between the traditional and the modern. I think that's what this whole thing is 2025. We might be seeing a lot of that. We see MSNBC, CNN, the things that they are going through. A lot of people aren't trusting them as a valued news source. Maybe you can look at Elliott Wilson the same. Do we trust you as a valid news source? You know, platforms like podcasts and YouTube shows, social media, they've kind of democratized, you know, media, allowing everybody to have a voice now. And to build a platform and to garner an audience. But when you do that, scrutiny comes. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, people, it kind of, once you get on this screen right here, it allows people to talk shit. People can get in the comments, in the chat, talk all the shit and all, you know, raise all the hell and noise. And that's what happens when you put your face out here like that. When you put your brand out here like that, you are basically inviting people to talk shit. Right? So let's wrap it up, man. Are y'all team Elliott or team Camron? Now, one thing for certain, we know that this media world is changing, and this it's only gonna get louder and louder, gonna get worse. But I want to hear from y'all. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Do you think Camron? You think Camron show is a breath of fresh air, or do you side with Elliott on the need for journalistic integrity? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Y'all let me know in the comments.